We go to question 4. They said a restaurant in Cyprus can seat 136 dinners each evening. The demand for seats from dinners over 3 evenings is shown. We have on Thursdays we have 98, Friday we have 114, Saturday we have 107. Then they said calculate the excess supply of seats. If the quantity supplied during these 3 evenings totaled 408, you are advised to show your working. When we talk about excess supply is as a result of the price being set above the equilibrium price. So if the price is set above the equilibrium price, it will bring about excess supply. So here we have 98, 114, and 107, which are the quantity demanded. But the quantity supply is 408. So you have to add 98 plus 114 plus 107, and you take it away from 408. So 408, which is the total supply, minus 319, which is the total quantity demanded. The excess supply is 89 seats. I think it's clear. So go to question B. Street lighting is provided by government in many countries. It is provided to improve the safety for pedestrians, those who crosses the road, and increase visibility for motorists to make them see. It also provides a more inviting environment after dark. It makes the environment to look, nice and light after dark. With reference to the data above and your knowledge of economics, analyze why the free rider problem means street lighting is provided by the government. Why do we call them a free rider? We call an individual a free rider because he benefits from what he doesn't or she doesn't pay for. So I wrote here, a free rider is a person who enjoys the benefit of a good without paying for it. That is a free rider. So here we are talking about street lights. Street lighting is an example of a public good by government. So street lighting is not excludable, is non-excludable. Which means individuals, irrespective of them paying or not paying for it, will consume it. So your consumption does not stop my consumption. That's why it is non-excludable. Street light is non-excludable, which means your consumption does not stop my consumption. So if I use the street light, you can also use the street light. That is non-excludable. So therefore, there won't be any reason for the private individual to pay for it. Because I can consume it, you can consume it, despite the fact that I'm not the one that produced it or I didn't pay for it. It means I don't have any reason to pay for it. Because it's government that is providing it. So I use it, you can use it, anybody can use it. So that means there's no reason for us to provide or to pay for it. That means we can be free riders. We don't have to pay our taxes. And even if we don't pay taxes, those that pay taxes and government uses their money to build to construct the street light will still benefit from it. And I that do not pay tax will also benefit from it. So that's why it's a free rider problem there. And the private sector would not want to produce goods that people would not pay for. So it is government that can produce street lights. Do you understand the point there? Also, street lighting is non-rival, which means the consumption of an individual would not reduce the quantity consumed by another. It is also non-rivalrous because if you consume 100% of it, I will consume 100% of it. So you consuming 100% of it does not make me to consume 80% of it. We're going to consume the same level of it. So it means non-rival. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that's about free rider. That's question B. So go to question C, which is the last question there. There's a case study there, but we're not going to read that. They said, with reference to the data above and your knowledge of economics, evaluate whether a monopoly such as KC Home is always bad for consumers. When we talk about monopoly is a market structure which one seller dominates the market. It's a market structure which one seller dominates the market or the industry. So KCOM is the only telecoms provider in Kingston upon all. So since it's the only service provider, it gives consumer no choice but to use the service. Because it's the only service provider in Kingston. So it means we don't have any other choice than to buy the service. So KCOM, as a result, becomes the price maker. It is the only one that decides the price. It is expensive and costs more compared to other places in England. That's why it's a monopoly and it's not good for consumers because it's expensive. KCOM may also be inefficient because it doesn't need to keep costs low, as it can as well pass the higher cost on consumers as higher prices. It is a problem for consumers because KCOM does not have any reason to be efficient. Whatever cost it incurs, it will pass it as high price to consumers. So it doesn't have to be efficient. As a result of that, consumers will pay higher prices, which is not good for consumers. Do you get the point there? Do you get the point, please?
Yes.
However, due to its dominance in the telecoms market, it may be able to exploit economies of scale, which might reduce price in the long run. So because KCOM is the only one supplying telecoms in Kingston, it means it has large customer base. As a result of that, it might operate on a larger scale. It might be able to exploit purchasing economies of scale. It might be able to exploit technical economies of scale. That means in the long run, it might be able to sell at a reduced price because it's able to reduce its cost of production, which means it might be beneficial to consumers. Is it clear? So that ends question 4.